Hey guys, it's Amber, and for this video I'm sharing with you what I'm calling like a bonus video. It has a process for creating a pull-out tag from my photo insert here, but I end up completely changing the way my day 16 layout works, but I still thought that this could be a helpful video. So what I'm doing is I have a 4x8 pair of photos here that I had printed out. I would have done 3x8, but the dimensions on the crop would have like cut off, part of my body. It just didn't look right. So I left it longer. And what I'm doing here is applying some adhesive to the outside edges of the photos. And what I'm going to do is cut a tag out of paper, but I'm going to leave some tabs on it. And you'll see that in just a moment. So what I'm doing is pulling some tags out of my stash that I considered using. And none of them ended up working. They were just too small, or the designs would have been sideways. But it was something that I was just kind of considering. So in just a moment, the video is going to jump, and you'll see the tag that I created from like a specialty shiny metallic paper. So as you can see, I left tabs on it, and it's double-sided. This way, when you apply the adhesive around it in a strategic way, those tabs will catch and it'll prevent the tab from actually pulling out. So what I did is I lined it up where I thought I would look best and balanced from the front. And I applied adhesive around the edges so that it will stop on those little tabs. So what I'm doing right now is backing them together. I tapped it down on the table, and in just a second here I'm going to hold it up. And you can see I'm pulling the tab out, and pulling pretty hard actually to show and test that it's on there, as best as it can be, and it's not going to just rip right out with some pulling. So right now I'm just cutting the edges around the photos to line them up perfectly, because they obviously will not match up exactly. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to create a little white cardstock space for my journaling. I'm also rounding the corners. And then I remembered I didn't want to do the two edges on the left. I wanted to keep them straight where the punches would be, or the holes would be punched to go into the album. So I'm grabbing my 6-hole punch here from Recollections. I bought it at Michael's. And usually I don't use any special markings or a page protector. I'm pretty good at lining things up centered. It might take me a second to check the top and bottom. And as you can see there, I pulled the tag out to make sure that it would not accidentally get punched if it was in too far. So one of the things that I did notice though is once I had punched the photos, I needed to apply a little bit more adhesive so the tag would stop and not go all the way up to the holes. So as you can see there, I'm kind of separating the photos a little bit where the adhesive was stuck down. And I'm using some scissors just to prevent it from sticking back down to each other until I can finish applying the adhesive kind of between the holes there and along the middle where the tabs of the tag would be. And there you can see that I'm testing it once more, pulling it out, pushing it back in to make sure it's gonna stay within the space that it's going to be. So right there, I'm just pulling out some white basil cardstock. It's like a lined style, so that's why you saw me turn it, because I didn't want to be writing against the lines horizontally. I didn't want them to be vertical, so I wanted them to be horizontal for when I would be journaling by hand with my slick writer. Right now I'm just figuring out where exactly I want it to be. I'm going to apply it down, and then I'm going to work on my journaling in just a moment. Because I was trying to decide, was it going to pull out and be seen, or did I want the white part to be under the photo so that you can only see the red and white diagonal paper on 3 sides. And my original plan was to do journaling on both sides of the photo of the tag. And I don't know if it was just the paper or if it was sticking out too far. And I like the idea of this, and I've used this tab design before, but something about this just didn't look right, so I ended up removing it, and I will be sharing that video with you next. Like I said, I just thought this would be a fun idea to share with everyone about how to creatively cut the paper to prevent the tag from falling out if you want to include hidden journaling from the side. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.